Scott Morrison of Barnaby Joyce set to lock in a net zero deal by early next week. That's the best estimation at the moment. Joining me live now is Evan Lucas. He's the Chief Market Strategist, of course, at InvestSMART, one of the best investment oracles that we have in this country. Evan, good morning to you. So as we discuss more and more about net zero by 2050, so what level of investment is needed to reach that?
So the way I'd answer that is that at the moment, the other thing that's going on right now is not just the COP26 that we're all looking at from the public sector side, is that there is a ginormous global private sector investment discussion happening on a virtual basis. And the person to watch here is Larry Fink. Larry Fink is the head of BlackRock. For those of you that don't know, he controls the largest funds in the world, about $10 trillion US. And he has actually stated very clearly that the investment needed is probably somewhere along the lines of around about his entire fund across the globe to do what we need to do to translate towards net zero. He is very optimistic about it. And why he's so optimistic about it is that the translation of technology and the speed of translation of technology, using his words, has been nothing like he's seen, particularly in the last 5 years. And he highlights very clearly, actually, something like the NRMA vaccines that we've used for COVID, about how fast we've got them up. Because 2 years ago, they said they weren't exactly working perfectly. And now they're in millions and millions of people's arms and obviously are protecting us from COVID. The same translation is happening in the new world energy. And he doesn't refer to it just being renewables. He returns to it about new world energy being things like green hydrogen, wave technology, wind technology, solar, yes, but also, basically carbon capture, carbon products and carbon reduction products are all part of his mix. Because what he also highlights, what's probably been lost at the moment in this debate, is that this is net zero. It's not 2-0 in terms of emissions. And what he points out very clearly is that gas will be very much part of that. We do need translation materials. He also highlights, and a lot of people are making this comment, is that the nuclear energy debate is also back up to be had, considering that nuclear energy may actually be part of the whole discussion. China is making that call, same with India. So your previous story from Barnaby Joyce about Australia making no movement in the overall price and the overall movement of global energy, we can, because we are one of the largest exporters of all of those products we've just discussed.
So where does Australia fit into the mix, Evan?
So we are definitely part of it, and at least from an investment point of view, we are definitely part of that. As I said, uranium is certainly there. We have one of the largest parts of uranium unmined on the planet, and I'm not advocating either way or all. It just needs to be discussed. We are also one of the largest markets to have things like cobalt, copper, nickel, which are the translation metals needed for things like batteries, needed for things like actual energy storage. So that's all part of it. Then the next thing is, can we be mature enough to debate things like green hydrogen? We have the technology that's coming, and you're having the investment from someone like Andrew Forrest. It's spending the money to actually convert, and that's where the cost is. So unfortunately with hydrogen, it's such a tiny molecule that it can actually seep and leak out of current technologies and current infrastructure. That will have to be upgraded. So Australia's mix is that we need to be part of that discussion. But the fact that we can also be one of the largest generators of these kinds of energies going forward and exporting them to the world, that's how we have to sell it, and that's where we sit in it.
All righty. Evan Lucas, good to chat. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate.